standing in front of the pyramid of King Teti of the 6th dynasty. This particular pyramid was built early on in Egyptian history and provides, along with other pyramids here at the site of Sakara, some of the most incredible texts called the pyramid texts, telling us about ancient Egyptian beliefs in the afterlife, ancient Egyptian magical practices, ancient Egyptian ideas about religion in general. These texts have been remarkable in helping us already from the earliest Old Kingdom period of Egyptian history to understand what the Egyptians thought about their religion and how their religion then compared with the religion later of other peoples and like the Israelites and others who lived in these areas and then moved on to Canaan and other territories. Just recently, in January 27, 2007, the Hebrew University released a news release about a recent discovery that was made in the pyramid texts here at Sakara. In a tomb like this one, a pyramid like this one, it was discovered that one of the texts was not actually written in Egyptian, but was written in an ancient Semitic language, but was then transliterated into the Egyptian hieroglyphs. It said that it referenced the snake in ancient Egypt and was a spell or curse concerning the snake that probably came from Phoenicia or somewhere up in the north in the territory of Canaan. If this is the case, and it very likely looks like it is the oldest Semitic inscription that we currently have in the ancient world, and it predates any other inscription that we have and any other Semitic letters that we have by at least 1,000 years. It's one of the most remarkable discoveries that have been made, and it's only been made about a month and a half ago. We're standing in front of the tomb of Mereruka, one of the most well-known tombs of the early Old Kingdom. Built in the 6th dynasty, Mereruka was married to the daughter of Teti I, who built the pyramid behind us and who focused on the pyramid text that we talked about a moment ago. In this particular tomb here, we have some of the best art from this early period represented that describes the specific aspects of ancient Egyptian everyday life: hunting, preparation of food, fishing, the kinds of things that people did on a daily basis here along the Nile. And it's one of the best examples that we have of this kind of everyday life in ancient Egypt. We're standing in front of the step pyramid at Sakara, the first pyramid ever built in ancient Egypt. It dates back to about 2600 BC. It was built by Djoser and his architect Imhotep. The step pyramid represents a remarkable advancement in architecture, not only for ancient Egypt, but for the then known world. Up to this point in time, everything was made mostly of mud brick. But Imhotep, the architect, together with his king, decided that it was time to use stone to build a monument that would last for eternity. A monument that was designed to propel the Egyptian king into the afterlife. A pyramid machine, if you will, a resurrection machine that would tie him with the heavens. And so earlier from this point of time, we had mastabas, these single-level tombs that were used with deep shafts for the burial chamber. But at this particular point in time, a pyramid was built in 6 steps. These steps were built in successive periods over the reign of the king, who reigned about 18 years, and it represents one of the most magnificent pieces of architecture in Egypt. The step pyramid at Sakara was also the precursor to the great pyramids that we would find later on in the later dynasties. And so we have a total new plan in the Old Kingdom of Egypt of building these pyramids as monuments to the king, monuments to the gods, but really as further attempts to connect humanity with the heavens, to connect mortality with immortality, so that the king could live on with the stars forever. We're shooting inside the temple of Djoser, which is connected to the step pyramid. You can see here the fine columns that have been shaped in antiquity, the first stone building in Egyptian history. Here we can see the fine workmanship of the stones and how closely they are attached to one another. They were first put here roughly and then carved in place and sanded down until they had the smooth texture that we find here today. And this is one of the earliest representations of fine architecture that we have in Egypt. The Sed festival was practiced here by the ancient Egyptian kings, by Djoser. Every 30 years approximately, the Sed festival was the recoronation of the king, where the king proved that he could once again be the ruler of Egypt, that he had the stamina, that he had the physical ability, and that he still was able to be deified. It was actually a deification and legitimation process for the king. That Sed festival saw the colonnade coming through here and then moving on into the complex behind us near the step pyramid, where then the races of the king against the bull took place.